Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, Revit After Us. So this is the What's New in Ideate Automation for Revit 2023-2026. This session is proudly brought to you by Graitec. My name is Clemens, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. We're thrilled to have you joining us on this insightful and practical look at how automation can take you your Revit workflows to the next level. Before we dive in, I'd like to go into some housekeeping notes. You can always explore upcoming webinars, training sessions, and industry events by visiting our calendar at isti.com/calendar. And yeah, feel free to share that with your colleagues and teams. Let's go to the next slide. We'd love your feedback. So on your screen right now, you can see a short poll. Please, it's on the right side. So please take a quick moment to respond. Your input helps us to tailor future sessions and adapt the sessions to your needs. If you'd like to take and explore the Ideate Automation or the productivity tools firsthand, you can start a free trial anytime. So I'll share the link in the chat, but you can scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. And any training. So now let's move to the main event. So today we are welcoming Nivin Nabel for a very insightful presentation. So I stopped talking and start playing Nivin's presentation. So I hope you guys are going to be having a good moment. And don't hesitate to put your questions into the chat. Yeah, let's go.
Thank you all for joining today's session. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. I'm Naveen Nabil, Senior Solutions Architect at Ideate Software, part of Graitec Group. I'm excited to walk you through what's new in Ideate Automation for Revit 2023 through to Revit 2026. In this webinar, we'll dive into the latest features, enhancements, and workflow improvements that are helping teams automate Revit repetitive tasks, improve model health, and save valuable time. Whether you're just getting started with Ideate Automation or you're looking to optimize your current workflows, there's something valuable here for everyone. So let's dive in. Let's start with a quick update on version support. The July 2025 release of Ideate Automation now supports Revit versions 2023 through to 2026. Ensuring compatibility with the latest Revit version. If you're using an earlier version of Revit, no worries, we've got you covered. Archived version of our tools are still available. Just head over to our archive page to access and enable these legacy versions. In this session, we'll focus on what's new in Ideate Automation, the latest features and enhancements and improvements designed to help you work smarter and faster. Before we dive into Ideate Automation, I'd like to take a moment to introduce the full suite of Ideate tools, since Ideate Automation works hand in hand with these tools to streamline your workflow. First up, we have Ideate Explorer. Ideate Explorer is a true model project browser. It shows you every instance of the Revit building element. It allows you to easily understand your model and make powerful edits by swapping components and updating information and auditing elements and reviewing Revit warnings. Ideate Automation can be paired with Ideate Explorer to automatically export Revit model warnings, streamlining the process and saving time. Let's talk about visual fidelity, a key part of the user experience with Ideate Sticky. Ideate Sticky is designed to bring in important non-BIM data like Excel files, Word documents, and PDFs directly into Revit. While this data is in model geometry, it's often critical to the project. By pairing Ideate Sticky and Ideate Automation, teams can seamlessly schedule and deliver model health insights directly into Revit, ensuring consistent communication and enhanced project transparencies for downstream users. Next, we have Ideate BIM Link. Ideate BIM allows you to export huge amount of data and their parameter values from Revit to Microsoft Excel. Excel can then be utilized to review, make changes, and then seamlessly push back these changes into the Revit model. Ideate BIM becomes your standard for all your Revit data management needs. The Revit schedule was just not designed as powerful as Excel. With the power of Excel to manipulate Revit data, you now have an easy and powerful interface between Revit and Excel to maximize your productivity. Pairing Ideate BIM and Ideate Automation creates an efficient workflow for managing Revit data. This integration enables scheduled data exports and imports, ensuring consistent and accurate model updates, and supports bulk parameter creation and element modification across multiple Revit projects and families. The ability to automate pushing data into Revit projects and families have been a top request from our customers, so we're really excited to support it in Automation 3.4. I'm really excited to cover this in detail later in this session. Next, we have Ideate Style Manager. Revit elements rely on styles, such as object styles, line patterns, materials, and fill patterns that define their appearance and behavior. Managing these styles across projects can be challenging and time-consuming. Ideate Style Manager simplifies this process by allowing you to quickly identify where styles are being used within models or families, merge duplicates, and delete unused styles to align with BIM standards. This ensures consistency, reduces clutter, and maintains a clean and well-organized Revit model. When combined with Ideate Automation, these tasks can be scheduled and executed automatically across multiple models, reducing manual effort and ensuring a clean and standardized projects at scale. Lastly, we have Ideate Apps. Ideate Apps is a suite of 10 productivity tools that streamline everyday Revit tasks. It helps manage sheets and views, renumber elements, identify hidden objects, safely delete elements, review annotations, and automate tagging, and more. Ideate Apps reduces manual effort and improves efficiency across your Revit projects. When combining Ideate Apps and Ideate Automation, we unlock the following workflows. First, Ideate Apps helps us run model health checks on annotation elements, ensuring clear and accurate documentation before submission. Next, we're supporting a highly requested workflow which enables custom file naming for exports. In Ideate Automation 3.4, this is achieved by integrating Ideate Renumber, which concatenates key data such as sheet number, sheet name, project codes, and other parameters into a structured naming rule for consistent and standardized file naming. I'm really excited to cover the renumber process in detail later in this session. Now, let's cover what's new in Ideate Automation version 3.4. Ideate Automation is a Windows application that automates Revit repetitive tasks. It is compatible with Revit 2023 to 2026 and can utilize the Ideate software solutions like we discussed earlier, such as Ideate BIM, Ideate Explorer, Ideate Style Manager, and Ideate Apps. It is designed to run with minimal input and delivers accurate and predictable results. In the latest version, we've added localization. This means Ideate Automation now automatically matches your Windows languages settings, so the interface appears in your preferred language. This is all in the effort of making Ideate Automation easier, more intuitive, and better suited for users around the world. We're excited to share that Automation 3.4 now supports improved pop-up suppression. This enhancement ensures that scheduled tasks run without unnecessary interruptions, fewer failures, and more reliable results by automatically handling non-critical pop-ups, which means automation keeps your workflows moving smoothly from start to finish, such as interruptions caused by the schema conflict and Autodesk Desktop Connector dialogues. The result is higher success rates, improved efficiency, and less time spent monitoring tasks, giving you confidence that your process will complete as planned. In previous versions, Ideate Automation could open Revit files automatically, but now, in Automation 3.4, we've made it even easier. Based on your feedback, we've added this capability directly into the UI under the Files tab. There is no need to set up a task, just select your file by name and Automation handles the rest. This enhancement was inspired by you and it's designed to make your workflow faster and more intuitive. Here is how the new File Open feature works in Automation 3.4. Start by navigating to your live cloud models or local models. From there, use the search bar to quickly find a model by name or apply filters to narrow down the results by recent Revit files or specific hub or even a Revit version. Once you've located the model, click the new Open Files button. Ideate Automation will launch the correct Revit version and open the file with your predefined workset conditions, saving time and eliminating version errors. Workset states in Revit are always changing as users work on a project, which can make opening files inconsistent. Ideate Automation lets you set standards for what should be closed when a model opens, ensuring a predictable and consistent experience every time. Behind the scenes, this button corresponds to a script that you can customize in advance. This is managed through a simple configuration file in your user settings folder. By customizing this definition, you can scale the open process across multiple models and maintain control even in complex projects. We've also included detailed help documentation to guide you through this workflow. This next feature enables opening any files. Opening large files in different formats can be slow and inefficient. With Ideate Automation, you can open virtually any file types, such as Adobe InDesign, Microsoft Power BI, AutoCAD, NWC files, and much more. You can even schedule these opening during off hours so the files are ready when you need them. You just set up the script, choose your file, and let Automation handle the rest. One of the new capabilities we're excited to share is custom file naming for exports. When exporting DWG or other formats from Revit, you're limited by the out-of-box naming options. Revit doesn't allow for simple file name standardization, such as using the sheet name and sheet number combination for DWG export. This can be a challenge, especially if your project requires compliance with standards like ISO 19650. With this update, you can now use Ideate Renumber to define external rules for naming exported files. This means you'll have full control over how your files, PDF, DWG, NWC, and IFC are named during the export, ensuring consistency and compliance across your deliverables. The examples shown illustrate naming rules that are not possible with Revit out-of-box, including ISO-compliant formats and implementing sheet number-sheet name for these exports. This enhancement makes your workflow more flexible and standards ready. Here is how you can create a custom renumber rule that can later be used in an Ideate Automation task for exporting files and defining file name. Start by opening a Revit schedule view, then launch Ideate Renumber to build the custom rule. In this example, I'll show you how to create a rule based on the ISO 19650 standards. For this rule, I'm using the project code, project information originator, functional breakdown, spatial breakdown, discipline, and sheet number. Once the rule is created, it can be exported for use in Ideate Automation. By combining these parameters, we can use the rule to name DWG files during the export. To take advantage of this new feature, launch Ideate Automation 3.4 and use the new ISW export scripts. For now, we'll focus on DWG. Let's build the task. Select the Revit files you want to process, choose the export path, and define the sheet sets you want to export. The sheet set can be defined in Revit or through a BIM-link definition, which allows you to define the sheet set by a rule or view name. In this example, I'll use a Revit sheet set. Next, define the renumber rule that will control the file naming during the export. It's important to note that you do not need to save the renumber rule in the project. It will be automatically loaded by automation during the task execution. This means that the rule can be stored in a shared location for use across multiple projects. Now let's execute the task. Ideate Automation will launch the appropriate Revit version, define the sheet set, and load and apply the naming rule temporarily during the export. Once the task is complete, you'll see that the DWG files have been created and their names are defined by combining the parameters we specified in Revit through the naming rule. And that's it. Custom file naming made simple, automated, and fully standards compliant. Next up, let's look at a powerful new capability, batch import data for both Revit project files and Revit family files. Prior to this release, our focus has been on data export, but we've heard from many of our customers who wanted to enable data import, and we're very delighted to support this new workflow. We've introduced new scripts under the 07 Data Management folder. These scripts allow you to automate the batch data import process, streamlining updates, reducing manual effort, and ensuring data accuracy and consistency across your projects. And here is a bonus. You can even create new elements during this process. This feature is all about saving time and improving reliability when managing large sets of data in Revit. I'll go through two use cases, one for Revit families and one for Revit projects, so you can see exactly how to utilize this new capability. But keep in mind, the possibilities are endless. Now, let's dive into the first use case that demonstrates the new data import capabilities for Revit families. Here's the challenge that you all face when working with families. You need to add multiple parameters and parameter values to multiple Revit families. Doing this manually, as we all know and have experienced, is very time-consuming and prone to errors. We're excited to enhance this workflow by introducing this feature that enables Ideate Automation to support data import into families using BIMlink. This means you can batch create parameters and apply parameter values across multiple families in one automated process, saving hours of manual work and ensuring consistency. This is a game changer for anyone managing large libraries of Revit families. Manually adding shared parameters is time-consuming and error-prone, but with Ideate Automation and BIMlink, you're able to batch, update, and create parameters. To get started, point the task to the library path containing your families. The task will automatically scan all the subfolders in that directory and process each family it finds. The name of the folder will become the default task name. It's important to note that this task took 3 minutes. Each family within the folder will be opened and updated with a results indicator. Cloning a previously run task reveals the user choices within the script. The task prompts you to either select an entire folder or choose a specific RFA files you'd like to process. The new data management folder includes sample content to get you started with data import. Inside, you'll find an Excel file used for importing data, along with BIMlink link definition configured for import. Let's take a look at the Excel file. You can use it as a starting point and customize it to suit your needs. As you can see, the ID column contains new, signaling to BIMlink to create these parameters in the families. The shared ID column can either be copied from shared parameter text files or exported from another family using BIMlink. From there, you can set up all other information related to these parameters, including formulas and preset values. The additional options toggle enables the generation of a detailed report, summarizing the parameters that were added or those that encountered errors during the task. This report is automatically saved in your Documents folder by default, providing a clear record of the import process. This is the final result of the import. All RFA families in the selected folder now include the new parameters and their values, such as the shared ID, parameter name, grouping, data type, usage type, formula, and value. With Ideate Automation and BIMLink, batch creating parameters transforms a tedious, error-prone process into a fast, accurate, and fully automated process. For the second workflow on importing data via BIMLink to Revit files, we've made it easier and scalable. If you ever need to create multiple elements or updating parameter values across your projects, Ideate Automation now supports BIMLink data import. This means you can batch create elements and update parameters automatically, saving time, reducing manual effort, and ensuring consistency across your models. Now, let's see this in action. Batch import data directly into Revit model with BIMLink and automation. With just a few clicks, the script pulls data from an external Excel file and pushes the data through a BIMLink link definition to update your Revit model automatically. The name of the script is IBL import to Revit. Whether you're working with project data or updating parameters, this script does the heavy lifting so you can focus on design. I will demonstrate how powerful this script is during project setup, where it automatically creates new elements in the Revit model. Here is how the Office template file is set up. It's an out-of-box Revit project with a few views similar to what you would use for your own Office template. Elevations disciplines are set to coordination to support the creation of multi-discipline plan and enable placement of empty views on sheet. The file contains no sheets and uses default worksets and includes necessary view templates to be assigned to views when they are created. This task doesn't require worksets to be open, as BIMLink can import data to make changes with worksets closed, making the process highly efficient. When changes are synced to the Revit model, you can add a comment. This is the import Excel file location, and this is how it's set up. Start by setting up levels, followed by worksets and sheets. Match the sheet name with the corresponding view name that will be created using the Excel formula. These formulas can remain in the Excel file without affecting the import. Next, assign the title blocks to the newly created sheets. Then create the floor plans, specifying the required family and type, along with the view name, which can include a formula concatenating the level name and subdiscipline. Finally, define the viewport placement on sheet along with their coordinate values. Returning to the script, the BIMLink definitions will be imported in the following order. First, create levels, then worksets, followed by sheets, views, and finally, viewport placements on sheet. A BIMLink import message CSV file will be saved in a specified location and a report name. If there are errors during the import, the script will report a failure and prevent the data from being imported. Let's run the script. This will launch the appropriate Revit version and start importing BIMLink definitions in the specified order. The data import only took 51 seconds. Now, let's open the Revit model and review the changes. While the file is getting opened, we can also check the BIMLink import message CSV file to verify the updates made to the model. In the Revit model, you'll see that the views and sheets are created and the viewport names are correctly matched and suffixed with the level name and subdiscipline name. We're really excited to release this script, and personally, I've never set up a project in under a minute. That's gotta be a record. As you've seen, it's incredibly easy to batch import BIMLink data into your Revit model, streamlined, automated, and ready to save you time. For the next workflow, let's look at importing data via BIMLink to batch create materials in Revit projects. If you've ever need to set up multiple materials manually, you know how tedious that process can be. With Ideate Automation 3.4, you can now import templated materials directly from Excel via BIMLink, making it simple to create and manage materials at scale. This enhancement saves time, reduces manual effort, and ensures consistency across your projects. Let's see this in action. Start by opening Ideate Automation and select the IBL import to Revit script. Next, navigate to your Revit model, whether it's live cloud models or local file. Add an optional comment that will be recorded once the sync is complete. Then, specify the Excel file you want to import. Browse to the saved import file. In this example, the Excel contains material data that I want to create. Each row is set with an element ID of new, signaling BIM link to create new materials. Use the Ideate BIM link definition called Material Create New to map that data correctly. Click Next, then Run to start the process. Once the task is complete, open Revit and you'll see that the new materials have been created quickly and accurately. We've shown how easy it is to batch create materials, but this workflow of batch importing data to Revit projects and families goes even further. So where will you take this? You can apply the same approach to line styles in projects and object styles in families. Using Ideate Automation and BIMlink, define your styles in Excel, whether it's line weights, colors, patterns, and object categories. Set the ID to new for creating these entities. Once imported, these styles are automatically added to your Revit projects and families, giving you fast and consistent way to standardize graphics and documentation across multiple models and families. And remember, we have detailed documentation on our website for all the workflows we covered today, so you can dive deeper and start using these features right away. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this overview of what's new in Ideate Automation 3.4. To learn more about these workflows and explore additional features, visit the What's New section on our website at ideatesoftware.com. If you have any questions or need assistance, our team is here to help. Reach out anytime at ideatesupport@graitec.com. We look forward to seeing how you use these enhancements to streamline your Revit projects. Thank you.
I'm back. So thanks to Niven for sharing her expertise and insights. That was fantastic. And a big thank you to all of you for joining these sessions. So as Niven said in the chat, you can put your questions if you have some into the chat and she'll reach out to you via email for detailed answers. So don't hesitate. Take the opportunity to ask your questions. And on behalf of Graitec, thank you again for spending a part of your day with us. If you'd like to learn more or test Ideate Automation for yourself, don't forget to start your free trial. So the link is in the chat, or you can scan the QR code on the screen right now. So yeah, we look forward to seeing you on our next sessions. Until then, stay inspired and keep building smarter. Have a wonderful rest of your day.